Welcome back. Duck hunting season started with a near-death experience for an upstate man. This is the social media post from Union County Fire Rescue, whose swift water team, along with several other agencies, responded to a report of a man drowning in the Tyger River. Now, that man, John Hudson, spoke with Fox Carolina's Margaret Burnquist. And she's live in the newsroom with more on this story. So, Margaret, really scary situation there.
Yeah, what an outing. John Hudson and his group of hunters arrived to their duck hunting spot along the Tyger River in Union County well before sunrise on Saturday morning. They got their gear together and headed down toward the water, realizing the river was higher than normal, but they underestimated its strength. John says he stepped in and felt the current start to take his legs.
I hollered out, someone, I said, someone get me. And Michael, he's kind of the only one that jumped to the rescue. He stepped in with me to grab my arm, but we both lost our footing at that point, and that's when the current took us.
On calmer days, like when this photo was taken, this is the scene at John Hudson's regular duck hunting spot. But Saturday morning, Hudson, a worship leader at River Hills Baptist Church in Moore, found himself being swept downstream, along with the fellow church member who helped him, 17-year-old Michael Bartholomew. They temporarily grabbed a few small saplings that came up from the water.
We hit those trees, and with both of our weight against them, the trees were buckling over. So the only thing I could think to do at that time was look at him and say, hold on. And he held on to the trees, and I let go of them.
Michael would eventually manage to get to shore with help from other hunters, but he watched John float toward rougher waters.
It definitely dawned on me that I could possibly lose one of my best friends here and never be able to see him again.
Meanwhile, John was fighting to keep his head above water and grasping at vines until he could position himself to drift into a more stable tree.
I used my shotgun as a prop, and it flipped me around, and I stuck the gun up against the tree and was able to get my legs around it, get my arms around it, put the gun on my back, and I stayed there for the next hour and a half until the swift water rescue team could come and get me.
When rescue teams arrived, John says they bravely and selflessly geared up and entered the cold, rushing waters.
They risked everything because they were in the same situation I was in, and they put themselves in it willingly, and if I could see them right now, I'd shake their hand.
And sitting in the church parking lot with the other young man he credits with saving his life, he says he'll take nothing for granted going forward.
Greater love hath no man than this, that he would give his life for his brother. And this young man was willing to step into that water with me. That speaks about the nature of a man, is what he does in a time of crisis.
John was taken to the hospital to have his vitals checked, and he was released after an hour-long observation. He says grateful doesn't even begin to explain how he feels. As you can imagine, John has told his tale to countless church members, and he hopes to be able to use his story of faith to reach out to others. Back to you.
Margaret, I mean, really something, and I like how he's really recognizing and reaching out to those who helped to save him. So I was wondering, he seems like he's dressed for it, but another hunting trip planned anytime soon?
You know what? They're going to be on the water again this Saturday. John says after so many great experiences, this one isn't going to stop him, and he's also going to be talking to people who are just starting out in hunting about the importance of being prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually for any situation that can happen. All right.